Welcome to Every LA Talks with Los Angeles real estate agent Matthias Baker Mazzucci.
All right, let's talk about what it means when an investor's equity is trapped.
What does that mean?
Yeah, it's a good question. Thank you for asking that question. Okay, so let me just say kind of like a broader picture. Here's what it means. It means your property is worth a lot, but your cash flow isn't. So we've talked about it before, how your inability to raise the rents or for whatever reasons or market shifts. You may have an asset that is worth a lot of money, but is giving you very little. So what that means is that maybe you don't have a lot of debt on it. So that's the equity, right? Let's say you only have a $200,000 mortgage on a $1 million property, which you bought for $400,000. So, but now it's worth $1 million. Your mortgage is only $200,000, but now all of a sudden that $800,000, which is your equity, is providing very little return. So it's important to understand that. And that's why it's important to keep tabs on how much your properties, how much your investment is worth, because it's not going to be worth the same amount. If you did the right thing, it's not going to be worth the same amount of when you bought it. We have some key dates here to look at, like we mentioned, like Ashley mentioned in an earlier video, like 2018, right? It's like, if you bought before that time and then interest rates, in 2020 went to 3%, chances are your equity, your property is appreciated considerably. So that's a very important thing to look at, right, Ashley?
Right, and I'm actually going to give you a pretty simple math problem for everyone to do at home. And then I want you to call us and tell us what percentage you're at. I tell clients, I want you to take the sale price, the value of your real estate today, and deduct your total mortgage balance, right? So that's going to be the equity that you currently have in the deal. Now I want you to understand, what is your net income on the property? So calculate how much are you putting in your pocket at the end of every year. That means taking your NOI and subtracting your annual mortgage payment. Right. Now I want you to divide that by your equity and tell me what that number is, because I can guarantee that a large percentage of LA investors are going to be under 4%. And that's where you want to see, do you have trapped equity? Are you at 2%? Quite honestly, I work with investors where we run those numbers and they're at 1.5%. That's how you're going to understand, is your equity trapped in the market?
Yes. And you know what? I'm going to just say this because I just love to hear the sound of my voice, but I'm going to repeat it. But look at this. The S&P 500 is for the past 100 years has returned 7%. So while there's a lot of advantages to owning real estate, the IRS wants you to own real estate. You get depreciation, you get all sorts of things. But if you're returning like a 3.5%, and if you're owning for a long time, should you really be giving up another 4% return just to take the tax advantages? I don't think so. So that's why when a 1031 exchange plays an important role, because you won't have to pay, you can defer your capital gain taxes, and you can continue to increase basically your return. So that's an important thing to do. Right, Ashley?
Right. Yep. I think for any investor who owns today, if you haven't looked at where you're positioned in the last few years, take a minute, sit down, and just figure it out. Make sure that your equity isn't trapped in your real estate.
Exactly. Do not sit on dead money. Let's unlock your equity and reinvest it. So reach out to us. And if we don't hear from you sooner, we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Thank you for watching. To find out more, visit everyla.com.